Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my game dev diary for my roguelike project. Going to jump straight into trying to get the little red player character to be created where we want it to be created, corresponding to what door it should be entering into the scene. So what I've done is simply created a new scene behavior called dungeon player creator. And all that is the top of the door wall creator dungeon 1. So that's the values for the doors should be created at. I've just simply copied that all over into a new behavior because hopefully, I'm not 100% sure yet, but hopefully the X's and Y's should be similar. Obviously, because the player needs to be created by near a door. So, this might have to be in a different behavior. We might want it in the dungeon door maths. Because then we can say, if it's gone in a down door, we want it. Well, no, we don't. We can just add in a little bit extra code. So if we go to attributes, game attributes, show game attributes, dungeon player precision, we can add another 2 numbers. Well, we only need 1 number. Hold on. And we can say, depending on whether it's north, south, east, or west, or down, up, left, or right, we can assign a number to that and then spawn in according to that number. So we'll copy and paste these in. So replace item 2 with 1. So we'll just do the down, up, and we'll set that equal to item 2 equal to 2, and place item 2, and this one will be equal with 3. So you can see that according to what door it's last been through, then we can read that into the player creator and read into the player creator and then set where the player should be created according to that number. Just M2 with 4. So that was easy done. So now we'll go here, and with Y north, how high are the doors? Doors are, can't remember, 48 is it? The doors are 48, so it'll be 49. And they're 32 wide, so it'll be 33. So that's the X north, the Y north, X south should be the same as Y south needs to be that minus 48, which would be 239. X west should be 33, Y west. X east should be 33399. I think Y east should be Y west. So according to what number that is, we should spawn the player character in. Sorry, according to what number it is in this here. So get item 2. So if is equal to So list get item 2 from dungeon player position as number get item. So then we need otherwise ifs. Otherwise if, and then otherwise. This will be, pardon me, that'll be 2, and this one will be 3. So 2, 3, and we go to scene, and we go to create character. Actor type, and where's the player character? Okay, so if it's 1, then I think that was down, wasn't it? Door down. So if he's entered a door down, then we want them to be at the top. So we want them to be at X north, Y north. X north, Y north. Paste. And I think the second one was up. So if he enters up door, then we want them to be at the bottom of the screen. So then that would be X south and Y south. And then we'll have to find out what 3 was. Well, it was west or east. 3 was enter door left. So then he wants to be on the right hand side of the screen, which is east. So yeah, it is northeast, southwest. So 3 will be east, 4 will be west. So X east, Y east, X west, Y west. So we put that there. We then go to game attributes and we'll set the default for this value as 1. No, yeah, as 1. Because that should mean that hopefully when we enter the dungeon we know that the outside door is always going to be at the top. So hopefully that then puts us in the right position. We need to attach this to the dungeon scene, and we also need to delete the player character from the dungeon scene. So if we delete that, and then we go to behaviors, and we add the behavior dungeon player creator, and then if we test the outside dungeon, then hopefully we can move around the dungeon. And also the player will be created in the right position according to where he's entered and exited this scene. So at least he's in the top of the screen now. So we'll go to the right and see what happens. Oh, he's on the left. Probably a wee bit too far. So probably needs tweaked a wee bit, but at least he's in the right about area. So yeah, it's not too bad. Like, I think I'll need to go and fiddle about with the numbers, but you can get the general idea. And you don't want to see me playing about with individual pixel numbers just to get it pixel perfect. So I will do that at the end of the video, so you don't have to see me do any tedious work. So that's the kind of basic player creator bit done. So what we want to do now then is move on to creating items in the dungeon, so it's not just a blank boring dungeon. And I have created an actor type, and you will see it's called barrels, and in it there is lots of animations of crates, pots, cups, all different colors. So I'm going to try and get the brooms to save what monsters and what crates or barrels, as we say here, what position they're in, even if we enter or leave the room, and keep them in the same position. So that means we're going to have to store their item positions in a list, and it's going to have to be a game attribute. So I need to figure out where I want to do this. I think we probably just want to do it in a probably. You really kind of probably want to do it when dungeon 1 door. No, it's not door maths. It's just a stairs to dungeon. Yeah. Once that's all done, we know the doors are created. So we want to then populate it. So we want to run through the dungeon. Want to we'll probably want to keep it in this behavior, so I'll do another created, maybe create it in at the bottom, maybe add it in the bottom once I got it done. So when created what I've done is also create some game attributes called room stats, and they're just empty lists from room 1 to 10. So repeat 5 times. Kind of, do we want to do it in those loops? Might be a bit tidier. Doing it or doing it not. There might be a lot of work for a lot of code, a small space of time. So there could be a lot of stuff to go wrong. Might be easier doing it after, and just leaving that be. So if I need to fix this, I can fix it. I think that's probably a bit wiser, even though it mightn't be quite as tidy. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So this might take a long time, but I'll probably start it off in this video and continue it, because I think because there's going to be 25 rooms, it might be a bit tedious to watch. So I think I'll probably start it off here and see what it looks like, and see if it's worthwhile documenting. Because of course I want you to find this interesting. I don't want you all to be bored watching me putting tedious code together. So we'll start off if we'll say get item 1, no, get item 0 from dungeon list 1, and say as a number. I wonder if there's a way, pardon me, you can change the variables, because that would be really handy rather than actually having to say dungeon list 1, dungeon list 2, dungeon list 3. You could just say, yeah, you probably could, I think. If you had a loop at the start and set active list, and say if active list item, well, then you're going to have to change the different room numbers, and you do room number 1 to 5. It might be better doing it in a list. Start trying to do it in sorry, not lists, loops. So we'll set, what attributes do I have? Let's create an attribute, and we'll call it active dungeon dr, we'll call it dr list. And we'll call active if I can spell active room, give it a list and call it hidden. So then we want to loop 5 times and then 5 times. So loop 5 times. So, and then loop. I've never done a loop within a looping stencil. Does it set the reset the current loop counter? Doesn't. I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't. Turn to start loop. It shouldn't do, because in other coding languages it wouldn't. But we'll give it a go and see. So repeat 5 times, and we want to say according to what if loop it is. And what room number it is. So probably start off with just dungeon list 1 and then do it for the first 5 rooms and see if they're populated. So I think I am going to end the video here. I think I probably waffled on for 4 or 5 minutes about what I might do. Haven't quite thought this through yet, so I will probably do the next wee bit, try and get a firmer grasp on what I'm trying to accomplish and what I want to do with this code to spawn the items and spawn the monsters, and then I'll come back to you with a video with a bit more of a definite clue of what's going on. As always, thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions for the game, please leave them in the comments. Until next time, see ya.